What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me on another video for living in El Paso. Today, I am going to be touring this beautiful home out in East Lake El Paso. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, listed for $350, practically new. And at the same time, I want to talk to you guys about something that we've been having a lot of our clients ask us, and that is it a good time to buy? So if you haven't seen our latest video talking about the NAR settlement and the whole situation with making sure you're getting your right representation, we will link that down below for you guys to check out. But here's what I want to leave you with today. Bottom line, when it comes down to if it's the right time for you to buy or not, it really comes down to your finances and what your goal is. So for instance, right now I'm making this tour at this property because we have a lot of people that are relocating into El Paso. A lot of them are looking for specific homes that are practically new, but not having to pay the price per square foot that maybe a brand new home would go for. As an example, this home is listed for $350. However, there's a lot of homes that are the exact same floor plan by the builder that are closer to the $400,000 price point. Now, here's where it gets interesting. A lot of people are going to push you to either buy based off what they perceive is the market condition. And here's the reality. You need to look at your finances. If it is the right time for you because you've been paying your landlord's mortgage for the past 5 years and you're ready to make that jump into being a home owner, then do it. Talk to a lender, figure out your numbers, make sure it's going to work for you, and from there, work with a trusted advisor. The reason this is so important, and I feel a lot of people don't really recognize this step, is there's always going to be negative Nancy's, right? There's always going to be people that are going to say, don't buy, the sky is falling, wait. I'll give you an example and I will continue to use this until the end of time. What happened in COVID? So many people were listening to the negative Nancy's that told them, don't buy a home, the sky is falling. But what was really happening is that they were distracting you from the fact that the market was actually moving at alarming speeds. People were betting on offers left and right. They were getting phenomenal interest rates. And even though some people were saying, well, you're paying more for the house, the reality is that for some people, it simply made sense because the interest rate was so low that it balanced off the amount that they were willing to pay actually toward getting the house and slightly overpaying for it at that time. Now, as the market continues to increase, we notice that real estate is the one thing, as long as you get it in the right place, okay, is going to continue to appreciate through time. And I think that this is something you should really consider when it comes to what you're looking to do with your investment property. I've mentioned this before. When I purchased my first home, that was like my starter home, and that home, I turned it into an Airbnb. If at one point I decide, hey, I want to sell it, if at one point I decide, hey, I want to rent it full time, I have a quote unquote little nest egg that has been literally, the compound effect has been working toward this asset that now I am able to pull money from if I ever decide to do so. And that's a whole other video if you're really interested in how to leverage one of your properties to buy another property and so forth. But what I really want you to focus on is stop worrying about what everybody else is saying. There's a ton of videos. There's this one guy that I really like how he explains things, and I'll link him down below. He was talking about how since 2020, people have been saying, the market's gonna crash, the market's gonna crash. And I'm sorry, but the reality is that you need to stop hoping for something to happen and instead take actions on the things that you see that are happening right before your eyes. Literally, I've been doing a lot of research in Florida market, and everybody always talks about how the pricing just continues to go up. And a lot of people like to use examples like, you can't compare, if you're watching this video, you're considering maybe El Paso, right? You can't compare Florida to El Paso. The attractions do not compare, and the things that you can do. I hear you, but remember, there's a cup of tea for everybody. There's something that you are going to like that other person might not like. As an example, I recently went to Florida and I was talking to some friends and they were sharing with me, I really like how calm El Paso living is. I like the fact that I get to go over there and there's great restaurants, great culture, great people, that I get to save money because it's not like there's, a concert happening every single weekend. Little things like this that really come down to where you're at in your home buying process really plays a factor on what is your goal. If your goal is to own a property because you want to have a piece of real estate that you will eventually be able to pass down to your family or maybe use as leverage for your next home, it really comes down to where you're at in your journey and where your numbers are. And until you find out what your numbers are looking like, until you do some research to actually figure out, okay, this is what I can afford, this is what I feel comfortable with, you're always going to be looking at the media. You're always going to be focusing on what everybody else wants you to focus on. And what you should really be asking yourself, in my humble opinion, is why are they wanting me to look right when I should be looking left? And not a political standpoint at all. Just why are they making me focus on this versus that? So with that being said, if you are in the process of buying, if you are thinking about buying, make sure you're partnering up with somebody that really is going to have your best interest. And at the end of the day, ensure that this person is also going to be there to support you and guide you with what are your best options. I recently had a person, actually, shout out to my YouTube viewer. He was mentioning to me, I've been watching your videos. I am looking to relocate from Vegas. I want to, make the move. I'm looking to retire over here. And he was asking me questions that automatically, as we were talking about it, he was like, wow, like, I really like the way you're explaining things to me. You're not making me feel like I need to make a decision based off the price point, more so what is it going to take for me to be comfortable and if it's going to be a right fit for me here in El Paso. So that's the bottom line. You need to make sure you're working with somebody that's going to educate you so they can give you all your options in terms of your financing. If you haven't seen the video that we talk about financing options, I'll also make sure to link that down below. But after you get that, now go and find something as beautiful as this for a great deal and make it your home, make it your starter home, make it your forever home, whatever your situation calls for. With that being said, stick around so that you can see the full tour of this beautiful home, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. As always, I hope you have a fantastic day.